the other day to go get her car washed. She didn't do it. And the next day I said, your car gets washed today or I cut your credit card off. Because I want her to, I want her to know how,
take pride.
Yes, I want her to realize how much more you'll love your car when it's clean and how much more likely you are to vacuum out the inside and throw away trash when you go and get it washed on a regular basis. You're going to let it become a trash heap otherwise. And then you'll want a new car and you don't realize it's really you that you want a new one of. You want a new habit. You want a new personality. You don't need a new car. You just need discipline.
It's funny. I pulled in to park in like your old cars in the driveway, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Stephanie's car's so dirty. I've never seen it so dirty." And then I realized I was like, "It's not Stephanie's car.
Not my car. Nope.
That's why I've never seen it.
My car is moderately dirty right now, and it makes my skin crawl. Like
Really?
yes.
Your car is never dirty.
The back of it has like a little film because of all the rain that we had recently. I haven't had it washed since all of the rain. And there's a little bit of dirt in my rubber floor mats. But I did recently, I keep wipes in the car, like leather wipes and wipes that I wipe down because I can't stand to see little fingerprints or sauces or whatever.
I just ordered a little car kit on TikTok Shop of like the stuff because I go and get my car washed like all the time.
Oh, you pay people to do it?
No. I have a drive-through membership.
Oh, okay.
But the membership place that I go to doesn't have like the sprays and all that stuff to wipe down the inside.
Okay.
So I bought like a little car guys set and just to throw in my car and keep in there.
Yeah, that's I would love to know what you got.
I'll send it to you.
The car wash that I go to has rags and they have window cleaning solution and they have an air blower so you can blow out like the little cup holders and stuff. But then I also have some wipes to wipe down my leather and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I had leather wipes and I didn't like them very much. Maybe I
what didn't you like? Like they didn't work
they were
or
streaky.
Oh.
Yeah, they left my leather streaky, and I was like, oh no, I paid way too much for this car.
Huh. Well, I would refer you to this brand, but I'm not impressed because when it showed up, the container was broken, and so they're going to dry out within. So I had to put them in a Ziploc bag, and now I have to roll up the Ziploc bag and press all the air out every time I get one out. And it looks like a Ziploc bag in the back of behind my passenger seat instead of a product. So
I'll send you this one that I just ordered.
Not super impressed, but they do work really well.
But it comes with like the towels and all that stuff and the sprays. There's a lot of it looks nice and it's a good company, Chemical Guys.
Yeah, I think that's who I ordered from.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, should I really be ordering from something called Chemical anything?
Right.
Like probably not non-toxic.
Not at all.
But here we are. So anyway, there we go. Now we've talked about cars and teenagers and diet lettuce or no, diarrhea lettuce. Has anybody gotten the diarrhea lettuce? Like, has anybody had, I mean, I was so in the dark about this and I went to Taco Bell and then I've like saw the videos that night. Like, don't eat
you ate at Taco Bell? That's
I do. I don't do it very often because Max used to work at Taco Bell and he told me, Mom, don't ever eat there.
Andrew used to work at Taco Bell and that's still his favorite place in the world.
Seriously?
Yes.
Max told me never to go there, but I like, a taco with no cheese because I can't do dairy. And I hate that about myself now, but I cannot. And it's gluten-free, mostly. I think the shells are gluten-free. They might not be, but I think they are. And I have gotten up to, since my weight loss surgery, I can now eat 2 tacos without the cheese. But I do like the lettuce on there. So anyway, I didn't know about the diarrhea lettuce until...
Kelly asked, I have 2 blushes. Some are pink and peach. Love them, but I saw red and blue lake dyes. Any thoughts on not using those bad dyes?
Yes. Okay. So this just came to my attention recently, that there are some lake dyes in a few of our products. I have asked our manufacturer to get back to me with alternatives and I have not heard back from them yet, but my suspicion is, since she's been doing this since 1987, is that those dyes are almost impossible to mimic in any other format, but I'm also hoping that she's going to tell me there are alternative resources. So sometimes a product is primarily derived from petroleum, like most plastics are primarily derived from petroleum, but there are new sustainable sources that are creeping into the market that are new. So as soon as we are able to make that transition, we will absolutely make that transition. But so far, those are very scant in our lineup, and we are looking for either for our manufacturer to confirm that it is from a different
okay, cool.
source.
Thank you.
Yes, we are definitely looking into it. As a matter of fact, I meant to follow up with Mary today. Can you send off a message to her real quick and remind her that I asked her about the red lake dye and some alternatives to that. But I know that she is against using anything that's petroleum derived, but then there are some things that she's had to come back to us and say, if you want this exact texture, if you want this exact color, you're going to have to give a little bit on the derived from petroleum, because it's just been ingrained in the cosmetics industry for so long. So almost always we say skip it, we'll deal with the texture, whatever it is. Like recently we have a new shadow coming out, and they're no longer using, our manufacturer is no longer using nano anything. They're using non-nano because of the nano ability to penetrate and potentially cause issues. So we're definitely on top of it, but you can avoid those products, and they are clearly labeled on our stuff. And honestly, I'm a little embarrassed to say that just came to my attention. I know that most synthetic dyes are petroleum derived. That one slipped by me. So we are looking at alternatives for that, and hopefully the answer is that it's derived from an alternative source and a newer way to get that dye. So hopefully that is the answer. But thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. We want to be very transparent. There are plenty of products that I love and that work really well, but that are not clean. And I think it's okay to make an educated decision to do the wrong thing as long as you're aware. I don't think it's okay for women to go barreling through their 30s to their 70s, putting stuff on their face that they have no idea is toxic and believing that the cosmetics industry has our backs. That is not true. So once you know what is toxic and what isn't, and what could potentially cause you harm and what isn't, then you can decide, knowing that, how to move forward, right? I mean, people decide, they understand what smoking does to the lungs and they decide to do it anyway. That's totally their right. And I will never want to squash that. We just want people to be educated about what it is that is potentially harmful. So
I have a question for the followers.
Yes, please.
I have a question. So we're looking at possibly, should we even talk about that here?
Yeah, I think we should.
Selling some of the return stuff. Only the stuff that we can't even tell it's been used, really. But we want to know if that's something people are interested in and what kind of discount you would expect for that.
Yeah.
Like, should we do 50% off of the regular price?
Yeah, I'd love to know, even from a small sample of you, who thinks that is like, I wouldn't go near anything that anybody else has ever touched. But come on, we've all used samples at a department store and at the orange store and at the black and white store, and we're not, but some of you are not. I tend to be a little bit more pro germ, just because I don't get sick. And I've been harmed by more doctors than I have by somebody else's swiping of a product.
We have 7 interested so far. 1 said definitely not.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Yeses so far. Really quick touch back on what we were just talking about. Lisa said, I just hopped on. Is there something you found harmful in your products that we purchased?
We were just asked about the use of Red Lake dye, and I think there's a number after it, and we are inquiring with our manufacturer about whether or not that is indeed derived from petroleum. It can be derived from other sources. It's typically more expensive for it to be derived from another source, so we're waiting to hear back about that. And if not, are there other alternatives? But yes, that is... It's just potentially derived from petroleum, which is a concern, and we are definitely looking into it and looking at alternative options. And honestly, I can't remember what product it is. Maybe y'all know. I've got a list of ingredients right here, but not for every single product that we have. So if you can,
what was that in?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
That's what I can't remember.
Someone said she saw it. I think the guy who originally asked said she saw it in a blush.
I would bet that it's the Tahitian. Oh, you know what?
I think she said a peach. Or spring maybe.
Okay.
It's got to be one of the blushes.
I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. I can't read it.
But yes, lots of people are saying Okay, so I'm gonna send out an email for everyone who's saying. Oh God, I just said that word. I'm gonna send out a news blast that about buying the return stock, and if you guys are interested, respond to that news blast. Someone said 50% off sounds fair, so that's a good number, I think. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I mean, that tells us what we need to know. One person speaks for 10 to 20. So we know some of you will not be interested in that. And then it sounds like more of you really don't care about that. As a pro makeup artist, I will tell you that, we use products on many faces, and the best way to ensure a clean transition from one product to the next is just to spritz it with rubbing alcohol, and to continue to clean your brush with a sanitizing spray or rubbing alcohol. It is drying to your brushes, so if you have brushes that are expensive and that you want to protect, I recommend that you use something a little bit better than rubbing alcohol. But that is the old school method of keeping your products sanitary, and you can spray that right onto powders, onto creams, onto a lip gloss wand, wherever you feel you need to create that barrier.
A couple of people asked, how do we sign up for the news blasts? Unfortunately, we can't tell you.
Yeah.
If Sarah can.
If
Sarah's here.
Sarah, are you here? Can you put that in the comments, my friend? And by the way, ma'am, you owe me an update. Or maybe I owe you a follow-up. That's probably more like it.
Thank you, Sarah.
I want to know what you're doing with our new warm concealer and cool contour, because I have a sneaking suspicion that you are loving it, but I haven't seen any of your videos recently. So, and I know you've got this thing going on with your eye, so you totally have a free pass. But I was thinking about you today, and if I hadn't been so engrossed in the book that I'm reading, I would have reached out. But Mondays are my chill days, where because on the weekends, I honestly, my husband works basically 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and about 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. So he gets a couple hours on a Saturday night and a couple or one day on Sunday to relax. So I spend a lot of time catering to his needs, cooking and cleaning up and doing laundry and whatever needs to work for him to be able to just chill out. So on Mondays, it's kind of a me day, until I get to the live. So I know I have until about 5 o'clock on Monday when Tabitha's going to walk through my door and be like, let's go, ma'am. It's time to make this happen.
Sarah said, loving it. Still have a bad scar, but loving the concealers too.
Good. So tonight we're going to do something a tad bit different than we've done.
Before we touch on that.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yes, we can.
Can we touch on the refill packs? All 5 are in stock.
Yes, all 5 of our refill packs are in stock. Woo! So if you're using our concealer, our skincare, then you know that you are dying for the refill packs. So it makes it a little bit more sustainable, a little bit better of a price point to buy the larger refill packs, and that way we're not having to refill bottles. So which
and deal with shipping the glass
and deal with shipping the glass bottles, which is much more labor intensive.
But to be fair, I just dropped 2 on metal,
yes.
and neither one broke.
Yeah, she was organizing our return shelf and dropped 2 glass bottles right onto our metal platform that holds up this backdrop back here. And the noise was like so jarring that it sounded like a gunshot, but it was just a glass bottle hitting a metal plate. And neither one of them broke. So we were both impressed. And we were like, if neither one of them broke during that, then how do they arrive? Sometimes 15 of them broke it, or a whole box completely shattered. Like, packaging breaking has been something I never thought I would have to like have nightmares about or wake up in the morning thinking, how are we going to solve this problem? But it happens. That is the reality of my life now, is that I worry about how another company is going to ship their glass bottles to our manufacturer or to us, and how our manufacturer is shipping glass bottles to us, and whether or not packing peanuts.
Yes, all steps.
Can we just talk about packing peanuts?
5 steps are available on TikTok Shop. All of them are on here.
Yes, all of them are on here. We have all of them in stock, and we are very excited about that. But I do need to vent about packing peanuts for just a minute, in case Nelsie or Mary is watching.
Oh my God, the packing peanuts.
Packing peanut. No, recently I feel like we've been getting a lot of the sheets of styrofoam, which which are totally fine. And
I opened on whatever day it was all packing peanuts, and I was like, no.
I mean, you should see the yoga that happens with trying to dump a box all by yourself. Well, if you've got 2 people, it's no problem, but it's never. I can't leave the boxes like unpacked and just sitting in the hallway or in the room. Like, I cannot. It feels like trash to me, because it is trash, and it needs to go. It has to be dealt with. And I have issues around trash. I don't know if any of y'all know this, but it stems from my childhood traumatic experience. But it
I learned this recently.
Yeah, I have issues around trash. Like, I cannot leave I mean, I'll pick trash up off the street, out of my neighborhood. Like, I can't.
You're one of those little old ladies who walks down the street with a garbage picker.
Yes, I am. And I already have one of those little picker-upper things. Thank you very much. Yeah. So anyway, the one-handed trying to dump a huge box of packing peanuts into a trash bag is, and God bless her, Tabitha's been like, why don't we just save them and use them for packaging? Where would we put them? What room would hold our packing peanuts? So when we went to visit our manufacturer, we were like, do y'all have a whole warehouse full of packing peanuts?
And
that you're trying to offload them onto us? Is that what's going on here?
Like, we never use packing peanuts. I said, yes.
Yeah, she literally did not know how many packing, because she doesn't pack up the orders. Like, she doesn't pack them up. But she was like, do we really send you that many packing peanuts? I'm like, I mean, it's about 50-50, but when we get them, like, and if you dump them just into the recycle bin, which I started doing because I was just so over trying to get them into a trash bag, when the garbage man comes and picks up my recycle bin and it blows them all across my yard. Which makes me crazy. Absolutely insane. So yeah, these are we just love to share with y'all some of the little behind the scenes drama that takes place, because literally I was a makeup artist for 25 years, did not deal with any of these issues, and now here I am face to face with them every day, but not on Mondays, because Mondays are devoted to reading on the couch until Tabitha gets here. Literally.
I literally trained Brooke. I said, if there's one thing you do correctly, it is you take that damn trash to the trash can in the garage. You empty a box, the box goes to the garage.
Yeah. Well,
Stephanie will eat you.
I parked my car in the garage because I can.
I know, I got here, I was like, oh my God, where is she?
And the housekeeper today left bags of trash, because you have to walk around my car, and she didn't know that you could get around the car because it's a pretty tight fit. But there's a lot of trash out there that tomorrow, like, I can't wait to break down and put out. Like there's just this sense of satisfaction when I take a pile of trash and deal with it. Like either it goes away or it goes into a can or it goes into...
I wish I had that. Can you like ingrain that on me somehow? Because I can walk by a box 6 days in a row and not give a crap.
It takes childhood trauma. And having trashy kids. You only had one kid. I had 4. Their cups originally will, I guarantee you, leave a Whataburger cup in that room sitting on that desk. And if I don't throw it away, there'll be another one the next day she comes and another one the next day she comes.
When I walked by the car, I noticed like 3 cups in there. I was like, oh yeah, Stephanie's not driving this.
Nope. That's Caitlin's car, not mine.
No, it was Ridgely's.
Oh, Ridgely's. Oh yeah. No, she is. She has the membership also to get her car washed. Cannot be bothered to do it.
Yeah.
Cannot be bothered. Okay, we're gonna
get started on
yeah, we should talk about what we're here to talk about, which is skincare and makeup. Tonight, I'm going to do the exfoliation series live. Maybe I should just do all 8 steps. No?
Jen asked, what's the childhood trauma incident?
Oh, Jen, are you really going to open this door for me? I'm going to need a licensed therapist after I talk about this.
Maybe we'll talk about that on the subscription page.
Yeah,
subscribers only.
It was newsworthy. Like the dude that my mom hooked up with after my parents got divorced ended up going to prison, and he was on the news. I'm not going to say any more about it, but that dude moved in after my dad moved out and used to stand at my bedroom door with a paddle in his hand. Mind you, I had been spanked maybe 1 time in my whole life. My brother, plenty of times because he was a train wreck, but I had been spanked 1 time in my whole, and by my mom, for stabbing my brother in the chest with a pencil. Whatever, I'm sure he earned it. But anyway, that had been the biggest trouble I'd ever been in my life. I was a good kid. And this guy used to stand with a paddle and tell me to clean my room, and he would watch me clean it. I didn't know how to clean my room. My mom had always come in and cleaned my room. I don't clean my kids' rooms now. The housekeeper does. But same thing, right? I didn't teach my kids how to clean. I taught them that it should be kept clean no matter what the expense is. If it's your expense monetarily or your hard labor, one way or the other, it's got to be kept clean. And then I remember him telling my mom that he was going to go drill holes in the paddle if I didn't get my act together so that it would hurt more when I got spanked with a wooden paddle. Like it was,
oh goodness.
Yeah, it was traumatizing. And just the standing over me and him telling me, dust the TV, dust the bookshelf. And I didn't know what dusting meant. Like I was 6 years old. Like I had never dusted anything in my life. Anyway, I think that that's where it stemmed from. But also my dad, when I was a teenager, when he would get home from work, I would have like nerves in the pit of my stomach that I didn't know what he was going to notice that I hadn't done. Like if there were, like he used to complain that I didn't clean the sink out after I did the dishes, that I didn't clean the sink. I had no idea that you were supposed to clean the sink. I never noticed the cleaning of the sink. When it was done or when it wasn't done, it did not register in my brain. And then the trash being taken out was my brother's job. But if he didn't do it, then I got in trouble because neither one of us did it. And anyway, I think these were just things that stuck with me, and now I can't deal with trash. And I asked my mom about it. I was like, do you think that guy that you dated, the one that ended up in prison, and I remember this episode, do you think that could have caused this like need for me to make sure that I take care of trash? And she was like, absolutely. So maybe you guys have a different opinion. I don't know. Maybe it comes from somewhere else, but that is what happened to me as a kid. And this was he was, I can't say that, but he unalived someone. And this, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep. It was on the news.
Picked up after themselves.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, Tabitha!
Sorry.
Did you seriously just say that?
I've been watching too many smart ass videos.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was kind of funny. And a nice way to lighten the mood.
Brooke got to me the other. So she I guguess there's this trend going around on TikTok, like, what would you say to a bully if they said this to you? Like, training kids how to respond to bullies. And so she's been doing that to me all week.
What are some of her responses? What does she say?
She said to me, what would you say if a bully came up to you and said that you stink? And I said, I would tell them their dad didn't say that last night.
Oh! I've never heard you cackle like that. Oh my gosh.
I was pretty proud of that.
That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I never have witty comebacks anymore because I think breast milk is actually made up of brain matter, and that we feed our brains to our children when we have them, because I was so smart and so witty and so quick before I had kids. And now that I've had kids, I'm like, like I can't, it'll take me 3 days to think of a comeback, and then it's obviously way too late.
But I'll still say it. I'll be like, you know what I just thought of?
Yeah, I'm not still gonna say it. I
have to get that final word in somehow.
Okay, well, that's gonna come back on you.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my child.
She's perfect. Are you kidding me? Okay, so we're gonna do things a little bit differently tonight. We're gonna talk about skincare, and I'm gonna do the exfoliation treatment on my face for y'all to see, and then I'm gonna do the hydrating trio right after. I think I will forego the double cleansing because my face is very clean. But we are going to do that live. So if that helps some of you to kind of see it in actual practice. So I'm going to have to step away to go rinse twice, but it won't take me but maybe, 20 seconds, 30 seconds to do that. So we're going to do that. And then for the makeup demonstration tonight, we're going to do photo makeup specifically inspired by McKenna Goddard. I don't know if any of y'all follow her. She's a young, really pretty makeup artist, and I'm not sure what city she's out of, but she's been traveling and people are hiring her to come to their wedding in places that she does not live, which was always kind of a status for me and the makeup artists that I trained. Was like, when people are flying you out to go do their makeup, you're obviously really good. Or they're paying you to come a long way in one form or another. So anyway, I've just noticed that she does makeup a little bit differently, and I wanted to see if I could get the same look that she does using Science of Pretty products. And she does things in a slightly different pattern than I do, or not pattern, but like a slightly different sequence. So I'm gonna change that up tonight, and we're just gonna see if we can get that beautiful bridal look. So that is coming up in our makeup demo tonight. And
you want to set a goal while we're here?
Yes, let's do it. So we're at 10.4 thousand likes right now. Thank you guys already for the likes. I don't think we've said anything that's really likable, but I appreciate y'all. What'd you say?
I said some funny stuff.
You said some funny stuff. I don't know how. I mean, it's some dark humor.
Yeah,
that's some dark humor.
That's me.
So we will set a goal of, let's say, 40,000. That's our usual range. When we get to 40,000 likes, we will give away a pink siren brush. These can only be won during our lives. When you get one in a bundle or you buy one from us, you get the black version. But we have just a few of these that we buy with every order, and so we give these away just as kind of a token of appreciation for hanging out with us, listening to us. That is completely free. You don't have to make a purchase, and you do not have to pay for the shipping. We totally cover that. So that is just a gift from us to you. So we appreciate the likes. That helps spread our content to other viewers who may not have heard of us yet. So always the goal. So let's talk about double cleansing. We're going to start and go through the cleansing steps from first to last. And if you're new to Science of Pretty, first of all, please tell us in the comments where you're from. We love knowing who we reached and where you are. We'll try not to embarrass you or put you on the spot for answering any questions or anything, but we love to know that we are reaching new people. And it helps me remember to talk about things that new people need to know. But if we're just talking to people that are pretty familiar with us and they've been watching us for a while, we tend to glaze over a few things. So we do have an 8-step skincare system, but on a daily basis, you're only doing 5 steps. And then the other 3 steps, which is the exfoliation trio, you're doing that once or twice a week. Or you can do it as often as you want, really, but I recommend once or twice a week. So it's only 8 steps every now and again. It's 5 steps every other day. But these 5 steps or 8 steps are so complete that you don't need to add anything else. If you have other skincare products that you want to use, great. They'll probably work their way in just fine. But if you are new to skincare, or maybe you've just been using a foaming face wash and a moisturizer and you're realizing it's not cutting it and you're not seeing any benefit in your skincare should make your skin look really good afterwards, and it should make your makeup application go on really smoothly, and it should make you look a little less aged. It should plump up your skin. It should give your skin a different level of firmness. And if that isn't happening, if what you're using is just something that you're hoping is going to stave off aging in the future, that's not good enough. You can get so much more out of skincare. Our skincare actually makes a huge difference. So you can feel a difference, you can see a difference, your makeup goes on a different way. So it's worth doing 8 steps if that's the option, right? And I know some of you are maybe a little hesitant to believe me. I mean, come on, I'm an influencer on TikTok selling her own products. So you should be a little wary. And so we like for people to listen and chime in and maybe go and try some of these techniques and principles at home with what you already have, and then come back to us and tell us how that worked out for you. We're pretty sure if you put any of this to the test that it's going to work out beautifully for you. So let's start with our double cleansing. There's 3 categories of skincare that we're gonna do. Cleansing is 2 products. Exfoliation is 3 products, and hydration or moisturizer is 3 products. So if you think of them in those categories, it's a little simpler to break down what is what. So our double cleansing set is these 2 2-ounce jars, and one of them is an oil-based cleanser and one of them is a water-based cleanser. But you only rinse your face once. And this is where our products start to get very, very different from everything else that is out there. So this is going to go on first, and it's going to break down all of the oil-based compounds on your face. Good oils combat bad oils. So even for oily skin, this is super beneficial. For dry skin, has high lipid content, also super beneficial. For combo skin, great. We're going to talk about why and what the ingredients are that make it so great for all skin types. But then you go in with this one and you go right on top of this one on your face. So you've got a layer of this and you leave it alone, and then you do a layer of this and then you rinse, okay? And that is how you end up with an intact skin barrier and not a dry, thirsty face that is desperate for moisturizer, which most moisturizers don't have enough of a liquid content to actually plump up your cells. They just give you a temporary feeling of relief. And then I'd be willing to bet that in about 2 hours after you've applied makeup, your skin goes back to feeling kind of dry and crusty. And when you smile, you can kind of feel the tightening effect. If that's true, please let me know in the comments. I would love to be validated on that, because I know as we age, our skin gets drier. As we age, skin cell turnover slows down and things just start to change. So you may just be at the age right now where it is suddenly important to start doing things differently.
Do you start with a dry face or a damp face?
A dry face. That's a great question.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's ever asked that, but you start just with a dry face. So this is our oil cleanser, and we're going to talk about it for a little bit. This is the consistency, and this is jojoba oil is the main ingredient. Tiger's grass and royal jelly are the 3 ingredients that I like to mention. They're high up on the list. Jojoba oil is the primary ingredient. The royal jelly that's made by the worker bees is a strong element in this, and the tiger's grass is also a strong element in this, as well as cannabis sativa extract. So there are plenty of other ingredients that are fantastic, and you can look those up. But this is probably the product that I'm the most proud of, especially when we hear from Crystal. Like, we hear from people that say, like, this product has literally changed my acneic skin in my late 30s, early 40s, from being problematic to looking better than it ever has. It's making a huge difference, and when you use these together, it works for all skin types. So this is 5 or 6 pumps of this. Okay, so 5 or 6 pumps. It's going to go right on your dry face. It's going to break down your makeup, your sunscreen if you're putting on a separate sunscreen. We'll talk about that later.
Do you do this over makeup?
Yes, right on top of your made up face. And I recommend this once a day for most people. You can do it twice a day if you are really acneic or really oily. You might benefit from doing this twice a day. But in that case, I would say before you do this twice a day that you just add a pump of this to your last step. So there is no soap in this at all. And when you look at double cleansing options that are available in the United States right now, I just realized my phone is not charging. I need to make sure it's charging. I'm just gonna unplug it and replug it and see what happens. Sorry guys. This is not gonna get me through the whole thing. Nope, that did not do it.
Try unplugging the GoPro. Maybe that's why the GoPro turned off the other night. Maybe that one of those cords is bad.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then sorry, GoPro.
That's okay. I can.
It can last as long as it's gonna last.
Okay, now I'm charging. Yep, one of these is bad. Gosh, that stinks. I thought we had such a good little setup here.
I know.
Okay, so a lot of the American double cleansing options that are out there have an oil-based cleanser, but it's still soapy. It just has some oil in it. So you feel like you're getting an oil cleanser, but that is not how oil cleansing works. It's what we've been taught and kind of brainwashed into believing that the squeaky clean face, like the drier and more parched our skin feels, the cleaner it is. That is a lie. That is a broken skin barrier that is desperate for nourishment, and it needs to be protected. So big cosmetics companies are not interested in necessarily fixing your skin problems. They're interested in keeping you loyal to a really pretty brand that you feel like looks pretty on your sink. A brand that's sold in a store next to other stores that you like to go to. A brand that smells good. Never mind that it's fragrance, which is almost always derived from petroleum. And never mind that it also probably has petroleum-based primary ingredients. So they are keeping you on this little hamster wheel of a little bit of problem, a little bit of solution, a little bit of problem, a little bit of solution. And you've never had anything actually make a huge change, so you don't know that that's really an option. So you just keep buying what you've been buying because of loyalty, and you're more afraid of the devil you don't know than the one you do. So I am just here to suggest that you, at some point, take as long as you need to decide whether or not I'm trustworthy, but also know that we have a really good return policy that is very generous, and there are really no limits on it. Like, if you can use it for 6 months, and if you decide it's not working for you, we will give you your money. We don't want you to be stuck with anything that you're not loving and using regularly. So we're trying to do things a little differently. This is our only real avenue of sales is through TikTok. They are our business partner because they made this an option for us where a storefront would not have been an option. So we are very grateful for all of you that care about supporting our woman-owned and family-run small business out of Texas. Our manufacturer is also woman-owned and family-run in Dallas, Texas. So we're about 4.5 hours apart. So that's a little side note to who we are in case you are new. Did we have anybody new state where they were from?
We went to Tennessee and Louisiana.
Okay, yeah, you got to tell me about those because I think that's super exciting. Tennessee and Louisiana. Well, Southern girls, for sure. So anyway, 5 or 6 pumps of this is what I'm going to use on my face if I have a full face of makeup on. If I don't have any makeup on, I probably only need 3 or 4 pumps of this. And then you match however many pumps of this with this. So this goes on your face. You rub it in. You're going to get into your lashes. It'll melt off your waterproof mascara. It'll melt off tubing mascara. It will get rid of everything. You might need to spend a little bit of time massaging, but it does a great job. And then you do the same amount of pumps of this right on top. So you don't need to foam this up with water. You can if you want to, but it's not going to get very foamy. So this is a very low surfactant. It does not have a ton of soap to it. So you can do this at home. If you don't want to buy our double cleansing set, you can actually try this method at home by using avocado oil, olive oil, or coconut oil as your oil cleanser. And then whatever water-based cleanser that you're using, whatever foaming soapy cleanser that you're using, use half the amount that you normally use and put it right on top of the oil on your face and then rinse once. And that's a really good way to judge without having to buy our products whether or not you can be okay with double cleansing, because it is very different. If you're used to wiping your makeup off with a makeup wipe and going to bed and tossing it in the trash can, this is going to be a little bit more involved. Like, you're going to have to spend some time leaning over the sink. I like to use the little wristbands that keep the water from dripping down my hands because I hate that.
New from Michigan and Indiana.
Yay, Michigan and Indiana. Okay, now we're getting up there. We're making some progress. I feel like we're traveling.
Lauren said, any advice to keep eyeshadows from creasing? I'm using all SOP products for shadow, maybe brow powder first.
Yeah, the brow powder first works really well under the bronze cream shadow. Just to give it a little bit of grippiness. If you have oily eyelids, there are a few things that you can do to make the products last a little bit longer. So one of those things is to add the cool matte powder to your lids before you put anything else on it. Just give a quick little dusting. I think I picked up the wrong one. The cool matte powder. So it's just going to dry up your lids a little bit. It depends on how severe the oily eyelid issue is, and if you're just dealing with a little bit of creasing or if it's kind of all bunching up into one. So your anatomy matters, and your the level of oiliness of your eyelids matters. So, but I will tell you, in my 25-year career as a pro makeup artist, I never got to anybody's eyelids and said, well, we just can't do eyeshadow on you. Like, it's not gonna work. Powders are going to be a little bit easier than the creams, but you can still use the creams if you learn to apply them correctly, and if you learn to apply them in a thin, dry layer. And our setting spray should help. If you don't have that, definitely add that to the list. You could even swipe your lids with a cotton ball that has a little bit of witch hazel or alcohol on it, whichever one you're comfortable using. Just swipe your eyelids before you do any makeup. So that would probably be step 1. Step 2 would be set your lids with cool matte setting powder first, just so that there is something kind of soaking up the oils that are on your lids, and also giving you a little bit more grip for the other products that you're gonna add on. And then I would say the setting spray, adding that on at the end, can give you a little bit more longevity and keep those things from creasing as well. So when I would notice somebody's eyelids creasing, it would usually be I would do their makeup, and then they would come back for a touch-up right before they all left and be like, oh, yep, your eyes ate a lot of makeup. Let's go back and touch that up. So the last resort is doing your makeup in a way that lets you go back after about 20 minutes of application and then reapply or add a powder or a setting spray to it. So I know that's not ideal for everybody, but that's just what I did in order to get by with people who's, it's sometimes we would just have faces that would just eat makeup. And it wasn't ever like, oh, she's really oily. Her face, it was never apparent. It was never apparent. It was just like, your face just ate it all up. And we would just go back in and touch up a few little spots where it got a little bald or a little bit light. And then we were good to go from that point on. So those are a few things that you can try. But if you're using our skincare, you're going to be able to control the oil production on your face. So everything kind of works together to give you a much better experience with skincare and makeup when you're kind of using everything, which I know is me trying to sell you all of our stuff, but it really does. It makes a difference when jojoba oil is on the face. It slows down oil production. If this is what you're using to take off your makeup, jojoba oil is molecularly similar to sebum. So when your skin cells detect sebum, when your skin cells detect jojoba oil, they don't produce sebum. When you strip away all the oil from your face, your skin goes into overdrive and overproduces. So if you're using a foaming cleanser that is very soapy and is pulling all the moisture off your face, your skin is going to continue to overproduce oil. So it sounds really scary and a little bit intuitive. Not intuitive, anti-intuitive. I think I just made up some words there, but I know it doesn't sound intuitive. I think that's a safe way to say it. To put oils on oily skin, but that is literally your best friend. It just has to be the right oils. And you can look this up. You can look up best oils for oily skin, double cleansing for oily skin, double cleansing for dry skin, and you'll find testimonials, which are the thing that I would say you can trust more than anything else, is from real people telling you that they are having fantastic success with this, than to read magazine articles that are clearly driving an intended point home. So I like Reddit for that. Obviously, you can skip over some of the crazy people, but you know, if you dive into a little bit of research, you will find it among people who have actually tried it and who are not selling anything. They're just happy to share their experience because they're pretty happy with their experience. So I feel like those are your most trustworthy options.
Counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Jen said, I do everything you suggest. Also setting spray on my fingers, dab it directly on my lids. I'm Roxy Rock said, I'm diving into your dark circles under eye tutorials. I'm so desperate.
Okay.
Lauren is the one who originally asked that.
About the eyelids?
Yes.
Okay.
Jen was just saying what she does. She does all of that as well.
Okay.
Like what you're saying.
So you're saying you do all those things and it's still not working?
No, that was somebody else who asked.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I think Jen is just reinforcing what you're saying.
Okay. Well, if none of those things work, then you probably are better off using shadows, although shadows can be oily as well. But the drier the product that you put on your eyes, the better it's going to be for oily eyelids. There's still no guarantee that it isn't going to crease, but I will say be careful that you're not looking at yourself like this and going, there's a little bit of creasing in my eye, because I get a little bit of creasing in my, like, it just happens. Unless you're going through a pretty intense routine of setting with a primer, setting that primer with the powder, and then you're using powders over the top of that for maximum longevity. On aging skin, I find that creams are a little bit more forgiving, but they can be troublesome for people with really oily eyelids. So I would say maybe powders are a better option for you. We have another powder coming out in the fall that we're really excited about, so that we have a little bit of something for everybody. But our cream shadows are pretty rock solid. The over application of cream products can also be an issue. The tool that you're using can also be an issue. So there's quite a few. If you want to look into my profile and try to reach out to me, you can do that if you want to do like a troubleshooting episode, what, like troubleshooting, communication. I don't know what word I'm looking for here. Clearly having a struggle with my words. Maybe I had a stroke in the pool this weekend because it was so hot. Okay. I mean, you never know. Okay, so back to double cleansing. This one goes on top of this one, and it eats through enough of this that it's going to get rid of the oiliness on your face without completely depleting the benefits that are in this, which we talked about jojoba oil. I said royal jelly. Royal jelly is made by the worker bees, and it has 4 out of the 5 vitamins that your skin needs and has an enormous amount of antioxidants. So it has vitamin A, which is retinol. It has vitamin B, which is niacinamide, vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, and vitamin E, which is tocopherol. The one that it's missing is vitamin K, and that is seen in our last step, which is our barrier protection oil. So vitamin K is in that, in the prickly pear extract, and the bakuchiol. So this is the power punch that is going to change cleansing your face for good. Whether you have oily skin, acneic skin, dry skin, mature skin, skin with rosacea, skin that is sensitive, men's skin, kids' skin. It all benefits from double cleansing, from antioxidants, and from hydrating in 3 layers. And then aging skin benefits from exfoliation. So very important that you understand that we are not beholden to the idea that there is a specific regimen that you have to use if you have this type of skin. Okay, skin is the largest organ. It's kind of the deep blue ocean of the body that we don't know a lot about. There are a lot of mysteries still in skincare, which is not surprising because we don't have cures for oily skin. We do, but there isn't a prescription out there. There is a lot of unknown in the skin world, but skin is our largest organ. It is also part of our immune system, and it has functions that require it to have certain elements. It needs those vitamins, it needs antioxidants, it needs double cleansing, and it needs hydration in 3 layers, not just a moisturizer. So we're gonna move on, because after you double cleanse, again, only once a day for most of you, twice a day for very, very few of you, then we move on to our exfoliation trio. If it's a day that you're exfoliating, this is not an everyday thing. When you get the exfoliation trio, you want to use this for 3 days in a row if you have not been actively exfoliating your face. And what I mean by that is you're not using vitamin C treatments on a regular basis. You're not using a retinol cream. You're not using a scrub, but maybe once a week, once a month, once a quarter. You know who you are. If you're kind of not doing exfoliating, and I don't blame you, because when you do it, it makes your skin look a little bit worse, and you find flaking and issues because you're not exfoliating completely. So when you do our extreme exfoliation or our exfoliation trio, you're going to get, for 3 days in a row, you're going to get basically resurfacing of your skin without having to go to a med spa, without having to spend $1,500, without having to spend 2 weeks at home because you look like a fried green tomato, which is what I looked like. I don't know how green I was, but I was definitely fried looking for 2 weeks after I had a halo laser treatment over 2 years ago, which I totally recommend. It is fantastic, but you may not need to do that. And you may not need to spend that much, because we're going to flash sale this for $69 instead of $79. We also have a way that you can try this at home for free. In my profile, you can find a video that's pinned at the top. There's 2 of them, actually. They're both the same content for the most part. I just did one recently. One's a little bit older. So you can learn how to do all 3 of these steps at home with what you have in your pantry and your refrigerator if you want to put us to the test. And I strongly recommend. If you're a little leery, if you're like, yeah, I don't think I trust you, I don't blame you. You shouldn't trust me. You should try our at-home version for $0 and see if it doesn't bring you back and make you want to send me a little note saying, I didn't trust you, but now I do. I would love that. But here is how you use the exfoliating treatment. So I'm going to do this live because I promised I would do this. Normally I just tell you how to do it, but we're gonna get the claw clips out and pin the hair back and do the whole thing. Okay, so that's so cute. All right. So step 1 and step 2 have a lot of the same ingredients. They have rice, which has ferulic acid in it. They have bamboo, they have turmeric, they have pineapple enzymes, they have aspen bark. There are so many benefits to this very simple formula. One of them is really gritty, one of them is less gritty, and then one of them is an acid exfoliant. All right, so we're gonna take step 1, which is the one that's a little bit dangerous, because this one, if you go in too harsh, you could break blood vessels. And we don't want that. So I'm gonna apply a nickel size amount. Okay, that's probably more of a quarter. It got away from me a little bit, but that's okay. And I'm gonna take a little bit of water. Normally I would do this at the sink, but we're doing it right here in front of the camera. And I'm gonna go rinse it off in a few minutes. So I've added some water till I make a paste that moves around loosely. Okay, so it's moving around. I'm gonna spread it onto my face. And then I'm gonna take my index finger and go in circles in one direction and circles in the other direction while I'm looking in the mirror. Don't put your face down in the sink and just do your regular face wash routine. You really have to take this stuff seriously. It's very gritty and it's very effective, but you can break blood vessels, which is probably why we're never gonna be able to sell this on a shelf in a store, is because we need to educate our buyers and our clients with videos like this. I can't just trust you to take this home and make sure that you watch all of the warnings. Because you know how you are. If you're anything like me, you don't do warnings. You don't read the instructions. You just expect it to work in a certain way. And we are here to make sure. I like to get my lips for a good little minute. And all of these ingredients are practically edible. So nothing to worry about if it gets in your mouth. It's not fun to eat. It tastes like sand, but you don't need to worry about it. So spend a full minute on your face, going in circles in one direction, circles in the other direction. I'm gonna go rinse this off. I will be right back.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Sarah. Hi, nickname. I'm trying to figure out the return shopping and the easiest way to make it happen. And it's crazy, for being in business for 3 years, there's really not a whole lot. So that's pretty exciting. I think the thing we have the most of is the Siren brush so far. There's only 40 of those.
The thing we have the most of?
For returns.
Oh.
Hi, Ginger.
Yeah. Okay, so that was step 1. That took me a little longer because I had to take a potty break, because as soon as my face or my brain heard the water running, I had to go to the bathroom because I'm 52. And this is my new life now. That anytime I'm near a toilet, my body somehow knows that. And
I told Brooke the same thing. I'm like, she's like, why do you go to the bathroom so much now? I'm like, because I had a hysterectomy 10 years ago and now I have no bladder control. And then I sneezed and I was like, see, there we go. And I ran to the bathroom.
Yep. I mean, this just happened in the last year probably, where I'm like, I and it doesn't happen to me in public. If I'm not anywhere near my own facilities, I'm fine. But if I go anywhere near my own home and there's water running, you better believe I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. All right, so this is packed in there pretty tight. I'm gonna just take a little tool and loosen it up a little bit. These will last you a good 9 months or more. Like, you're gonna have a really hard time going through all this. So there is my nickel size amount, nickel quarter, whatever. Add a few drops of water to it and I'll rub it in. And this one, you don't have to be quite as careful about because the level of grit to it is very gentle, but you do want to spend a full minute. And you're going to go in circles in one direction, circles in the other direction. Remember, circles remove things, so the circles are important. Don't just go up and down. Get onto your lips. And this one, you're going to start to feel like, is this doing anything? Because the other one felt like it was doing something. But this is the one that's going to leave you with the wow factor. As soon as you rinse this off, you're going to feel dolphin skin. Your skin is going to feel much smoother, silkier, better texture than you've maybe ever felt before. And it is totally worth it. So definitely spend the full minute with this because you want all of those elements that are chemically exfoliating as well as physically exfoliating your face. And this is basically resurfacing your skin without having to go to a med spa. So I'm gonna go rinse this off. That will be the last rinse, and then I will be back for good. Okay, unless I have to go to the bathroom again. Okay, if I didn't have to walk all the way down the hall, that would have been a lot faster. So I don't want to hear anybody say, I don't have time to do this. Yes, you do. You just have to steal it from somewhere else. Okay, so I'm going to remove my crazy clips. I know that some of y'all, it brings you great joy to see me pin my hair back. I never imagined people could enjoy it as much as some of y'all do. But it's hard for me to do. I've been doing my face for 52 years now. Well, maybe 48 years. And never pinned my hair back. But when I got on TikTok, if I don't pin my hair back while I put on makeup, people are going to complain. Okay, so now we're going to do 3 droppers full of the acid exfoliant. So we've done 2 layers of physical cleansing and a little bit of enzyme exfoliation as well.
Is this safe to use with tretinoin?
I wouldn't recommend that you do it on the same day fully. I would test a little. I mean, if it was me, I would probably test a patch on my chest. I'd put the tretinoin on there and then, or maybe at the bottom side of your jaw, and just make sure that it's not too much if you have sensitive skin. If you know that you have elephant skin and nothing really seems to bother your skin, you're probably gonna be fine. It's just that you're probably not gonna want to repurchase tretinoin because our step 5, if you're using our full system, step 5 has bakuchiol in it, which has been, studies have proven that it has the exact same effects, and it's all natural. It has no side effects. You don't need a prescription for it, and it's already in the products that you're using. So yes, you can use up what you've got, but I think that the using up what we've got is a little bit of a leftover response to us being raised by people who were raised by people who were in the Great Depression, and you think that you can't let anything go to waste. That you need to get over that, because real estate is more valuable than whatever product you have purchased. And I mean the real estate at your vanity, at your sink, in your drawers. When you gain back your real estate and you throw away the products that you are not using, that you're never going to use, and that nobody wants to take off of your hands either, you're going to feel a moment of guilt, and then you're going to have this enormous influx of joy where you have space that is going to free up space in your mind to do things differently.
Sounds like we hit our goal.
Oh, good. Fantastic. That was easy. All right, we will give away a pink siren brush, and you'll go right here to this little pink and orange ombre bag. That's what you'll click to fill out whatever they're asking for, and that will enter you to win. That'll be going for the next 10 minutes. I'm gonna go into okay, my face is super smooth. Definitely feeling the dolphin skin, and the glycolic acid, in case anybody needs to know, is 3.58%. It's a pretty low percentage, but I tend to be a little bit sensitive to glycolic acid, so it gives me a little bit of a tingle every time I apply it. It doesn't last long, but just know that that's normal, and also not feeling anything is perfectly normal. It doesn't mean it's not working, it just means you're not sensitive to it. So we're gonna go into our hydrating trio now, which always makes me smile because this is the part where I see my skin come alive and it just looks so ready for makeup. And honestly, some days it looks so good that I'm like, I'm just gonna skip makeup, and I think I'm gonna throw on a hat and some lip gloss and be perfectly fine today without wearing any makeup, because that is what hydrating my skin in 3 layers does for my skin. It takes my skin from having skin cells that look like this. They're kind of shadowy, wrinkly, crinkly, and gray, to skin cells that look like this. Even in color, light bouncing off the apex of the curve, texture and bounce. Not texture like rough texture, but like bounce. So you get skin that looks like this versus skin that looks like this when you're just using a cleanser and a moisturizer. So why do you need to hydrate in 3 layers? Well, our skin is built in layers, and it just makes sense to the skin. When you try to cram everything into one product, and you're a big makeup corporation, you're going to make decisions about using petroleum-based or derived ingredients because it's going to protect your profit margin. And if you are selling your stuff at the orange store or the black and white store or a department store or a not convenience store, drugstore, then you have to worry about your marketing campaign. You have to worry about your packaging. You have to worry about your real estate. You have to worry about the people that are working in that real estate. There is no room left over for ingredients when nobody is, you're not asking, can I have some better ingredients, please? Like, we're not standing at the doors saying, we want better ingredients, which is why I'm here. Like, because we don't know. We just don't. I didn't know until fairly recently. If my late husband hadn't passed away from melanoma, I wouldn't know a lot that I know about skin right now, and the sun and sunscreen and the FDA and SPF and all of those things. Like, I wouldn't know any of that. And my purpose here is, yes, to make money and to provide a living for my family. When my husband got the news that he was likely to pass in the next year, that the cancer was back and there was nothing more that they could do for him, I knew that I had to get serious about replacing his income and taking care of my poor children who were going to be left with the less responsible parent.
Do you need the 3-piece and the 5-piece to have the full skincare set?
So we have an 8-step system that you can buy and that we will flash sale. So you get a discount when you buy it through the live. That's the best way. There's only 8 products completely total. So 5 of them are used every day. 3 of them are the exfoliation trio. If you're under 40, you probably only need the 5-step. You may not need the exfoliation trio. So I'm not sure which 3 steps you're asking me about, but you can just try the double cleanser and use it with whatever you got. I think we tend to think, oh, it's all or nothing, but you can absolutely piecemeal this whole thing together based on what you have and what you need. If you are out of cleanser, you can just buy our double cleansing set and see how that works for you. If you have just not exfoliated and you think that this is what the exfoliation trio is what I tell people when they say, if I could buy just one thing from Cypress, what should I buy? What's that?
She said I'm 52.
Me too. So yes, you probably need all of it. If you have not been exfoliating, it's time to step into your big girl panties, and get on board. The good news is that if you haven't been doing anything, your results are going to be so jaw-dropping that it's going to make you want to continue to do your skincare. So the reason that most women don't do skincare is they've been using stuff that doesn't seem to make any difference. It just feels like you're wasting time. You don't notice any kind of change, and nobody else notices any kind of change. So we just lose our enthusiasm for the amount of time that we're spending doing skincare. I'm suggesting that you give it one more chance, and try a different type of skincare setup, a regimen that is very unique and very different and based off of science and Korean practices and ingredients that have been around for centuries instead of ingredients that have been derived from the sludge at the bottom of the barrel left over after gasoline is made. That's what petroleum is. That's where it comes from. It's literally a byproduct of making gasoline, and we're putting it on our skin, and we're being told that it's filtered. It is very unlikely that it is filtered. If you believe that it's filtered, you would have to believe that the greediest industry in the world is choosing to lower its profit margin to jump through hoops that they're not held accountable to by any agency, that we're not asking them as buyers to be held accountable to, that they're just doing it out of the kindness of their heart. There are lobbyists in this country that are making sure that the United States never has the same requirements that the EU has for filtering petroleum, and that gets rid of the free radicals that are in the petroleum. So when your products are filled with mineral oil, paraffinum, petrolatum, synthetic wax, basically anything synthetic is derived from petroleum. Hello, Bacon. How are you?
Terrible.
Oh, no. How was did you have a bad day?
No, my drive home was absolutely miserable.
Why? Are you late? It's 7:42.
Because it's 103 degrees outside.
Oh, yeah, her air conditioner is not working. Well, I'll take it tomorrow, and I'm sure they'll be able to fix it right away.
Yeah, I'm sure they will too.
I'm so sorry.
Actually terrible.
I know, it's really awful.
Like, my back is drenched.
Yeah. This is living in a privileged world. She has never had to drive in a car that did not have air conditioning.
I don't understand how people can do that. Like,
I did it for years.
No.
Yeah, yes, I did.
No,
don't tell me no.
I don't understand how. Like, I'm actually, like, dying. Like,
I know, because you're so acclimated to air conditioning. I didn't have air conditioning in my car for literally years.
When your seats are hot and you have to sit on them.
I know.
And then the window rolling down doesn't do anything because it's humid.
I know.
It's just wind blaring in your face.
I know. And it's not even cold wind.
Nope.
I know. I'm so sorry, baby girl. Welcome to real life. Yeah. Do not turn my air conditioner down in this house.
Okay.
It's already at 69. That's low enough.
What about 68?
No, not 68. You're not paying the light bill. She doesn't know that our light bill has it's never been more than $350. Even when we got the pool installed and they told me that like my electric bill was going to go up, never has. I guess the sucker is just insulated to the gills, because never had to do that. But yeah, did anybody else have to drive a car with no air conditioning for a long time?
I did in the 80s and 90s.
Yes, I did in the 80s and 90s too. I mean, that was like the first thing that would go out in a decent car. Like your air conditioner goes out and you're like, well, guess I'm sweating from now till I have a different situation and a different car, because I mean, my first car was like 15 years old. Like it didn't no. So anyway, she's learning her little lesson, and maybe she'll appreciate it. Probably not, because she's not gonna have to pay for the repairs. But I mean, I'll make her pay one way or another. Okay. Hydrating Trio starts off with a hydrating toner. This is what is going to wet your face, and your skin cells are going to drink it up because it has calendula, chamomile, cucumber, resveratrol, green tea, all of the things that your skin is super eager for, and is not drinking up your tap water because your tap water has chlorine and fluoride in it, and your skin cells are like, no thanks, we don't want your kind here. So that water remains extracellular. The water that your skin is going to drink up needs to have ingredients that your skin is desperate to grab onto. And these antioxidants that are in these ingredients are super powerful. Look it up. Green tea, calendula, chamomile, resveratrol. Those are like the VIP list of high impact antioxidants that are also hydrating the skin. So we're going to go right on top of that. You don't need to wait. You don't need to dry it down. You don't need to use a fan and do anything like that. You're just going to go right on top of it with one pump of the antioxidant cream. This is your emollient layer. So we've just added hydration. Now we're going to add a emollient, which is going to soften the skin and add additional antioxidants like oats and other. I feel like, okay, I can't risk losing a lash cluster right now, but I feel like one's about to fall off. So we're gonna, no, like it's about to fall off. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a feeling. Okay, just a feeling, and feelings lie. Right? Like we know that now that we are in our 50s, feelings are transient. They do not inform us of truth. They just inform us that something is wrong or something is right, depending on the feeling, of course. So now we're going to use, why does this always take me so long to get off? Okay. Does anybody else have that problem with your bottle? I think we might need to look at a new bottle source. Do you have that problem with your bottle, Tabitha? Your bottle? Barrier protection oil, that the top just spins and it doesn't unthread. I seem to have that problem in this one and the one I have in my bathroom. So this is your barrier protection oil. It's going to go right on top of the second, and this is your skin prep. So now you're ready for makeup or ready for bed. I recommend that you do the Hydration Trio twice a day.
Careless one to give away. Yeah, apparently there's 4 people that have the same problem.
Oh, with their bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to look at a different provider, because it's mildly frustrating. Like I just have to twist it a few times, but the fact is that by the time I get to this step, my hands are already a little bit slippery from the antioxidant cream, and then I end up dropping this bottle and spilling it on my countertop, which really irritates me. So I think we should just, I know you're probably rolling your eyes back there behind the curtain. Because finding packaging is so hard for us. Like seriously, we don't have a lot of options. Like we buy in such small quantities that we basically pay retail for all of our bottles. But and we've had really good luck with our pumps and with a lot of our bottles. But this one just drives me crazy. And if out of only 52 people, there's 6 of us or 7 of us that are having this issue, it means that it's an ongoing issue. So I'd like to look at new bottles.
Kim said mine does the same thing. Jen said I just press down and that helps.
Yes, I do press down, but when my fingers are slippery, it's hard to press down. And then sometimes that's what makes me drop it. And then it spills on my counter, and then I'm like trying to suck it up off the counter onto my face. I don't really put my face on the counter, but I want to because I hate to see the product on the counter. Okay, so I'm gonna set this water aside. Yeah, I'm actually glad I brought that up. It's good to know that I'm not the only one. And y'all should have told us. You should have told us that that was an issue, because we count on you guys to let us know, because this is just, it's a business, and this happens. Like, it is very difficult to find packaging that is high quality at a price that we can afford, that doesn't have to make us change our pricing, and that ships well, that they actually ship their products well enough that it's not going to arrive with a completely broken shipment. Because when our manufacturer gets a completely broken shipment of bottles, not only does it set their time back and our time back, but they have to sanitize everything that potential glass could have gotten into. So they have to charge us for sanitation issues when we send them, which we're not sending it to them, but anyway, it's trouble. It's very troublesome. So anyway, that is the hydration trio, and this means we are ready for makeup, and it is 7:49. So we're a little behind schedule.
We're an hour and a half in. Look at us.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Sometimes we blow through this, and sometimes we just
Sarah
chat.
said, okay, while we're here, how about the #1 cleanser bottle pump?
Okay, it's not the pump. It's the cleanser.
Because the pump
is the
for
same.
1 and 2.
Yes, the pump is the same for 1 and 2, and nobody has ever complained about a problem with step 2, or maybe 1 out of 1,000. Like, I don't remember anybody complaining about step 2. So the problem is with step 1. It can get a little bit thick. The way to manage it best is to warm it up in your hands, or to take a hairdryer to it and just warm up the product a little bit, or to unscrew it, just take the thing out, put it right back in. That usually fixes the problem for me. But to change that formula is so risky because it's one of our best products. So we've been really hesitant to change the formula, knowing that with just a little bit of love, you can warm it up and it will make itself go down to a little bit more liquidy. Do not ever microwave it. Don't ever do that. But just a little bit of warmth will reduce the thickness that sometimes starts to set in, especially after it's been sitting in a cool environment. If your house is set at 68, like Kaiten would have it set out right now, it's definitely has the potential to get a little bit thicker. And it seems like some do it more than others, so it's not consistent. So we've talked about changing the formula, but that scares me to death because that product is so life-changing for so many people that I just don't want to do anything that's going to change that effectiveness. Okay, let's move on to makeup. I feel like I have
the shower is fine.
hair.
When I wash at night is when step 1 gets thick. So setting on the counter, no changing it, no way, not even a little. Never change the formula.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Do you do anything like Botox fillers or laser?
Yes, to all of them, but not regularly. I do Dysport regularly, about every 6 weeks or so. I tried Botox for years and it wouldn't last more than 4 weeks for me. Now I go every 6 to 8 weeks, and I have a small amount done, she calls it a sprinkle, around my eyes. I still have a little bit of movement. I can move my forehead. I can still make frown lines, but I don't have the deep 11s that I had all through my 30s. Like from 30 to 42, I had super deep 11s, and they're practically gone. But that doesn't change the makeup of my skin, like the quality of my skin. That just means that I have fewer visible wrinkles around my eyes and my forehead. I have done a laser before. I have done a chemical peel before, but it's been 2.5 years since I've done anything like that. And I was told that if I didn't use sunscreen every single day, that all the issues would come back and they would be worse than before. And I have only relied on the zinc that is in our foundation, and sometimes I don't even wear this. If I'm going to be overexposed, I just wear a hat. So I'm not a huge sunscreen wearer. I am a huge antioxidant consumer. So antioxidants they don't protect your face the same way that a sunblock does, but they go in and clean up the damage that gets done by the sun. And the sun, that little bit of damage that happens, if you have enough antioxidants, you don't need to worry about the damage of the sun. It's only when you have a highly processed diet, you're eating foods that are fried in canola oil all the time. You are not eating anything organic, so pesticides are present in your life and petroleum products are present in your life, and your diet is highly processed. Like, where that is the case, the little bit of free radicals that are in sun are going to compound and be much worse because you don't have enough antioxidants to combat them. So antioxidants combat free radicals. Free radicals are unbound electrons that are looking to hook up with other electrons. If they don't get another electron, they'll go and scavenge one from a healthy system in your body, like your collagen matrix, and cause that system to start to break down. Antioxidants give away free electrons. So they answer the free radicals. And this is why you can make an educated decision to do the wrong thing. You can invite some free radicals into your life, like the sun, which has so many additional benefits to it. You can do that as long as you are paying attention to your antioxidant intake. So if your free radicals are a little bit lower and your antioxidants are higher, you're going to live longer, look better, be healthier. When you are unaware of antioxidants and you're unaware of what free radicals are, you're probably a little bit more like this. You probably have a lot more toxic elements in your life, and you don't have the antioxidant benefit in supplements, in things that go onto your skin, in the foods that you eat. And so you're just going to age faster, and you're going to rely on med spas to do the cleanup instead of relying on antioxidants to do a lot of the cleanup damage. Or a lot of the cleanup work from the damage that you're getting. So antioxidants are, are they sunscreen? No, but they are reducing the damage that's caused by sun exposure and giving you all the benefits like mental health. Vitamin D is directly related to our sun intake. And if we don't get enough sun, we have problems making vitamin D. And the vitamin D deficiency in the United States is chronic. Okay, you should look this up. Don't trust me. Go and look it up. What is the percentage of people in the United States that have a vitamin D deficiency? Just go look that up and see what it tells you. Because people with a vitamin D deficiency are known to have anxiety, depression, and cognitive impairment. That's so much harder to solve than sun damage. So I don't let anybody tell me I need to wear sunscreen day and night and protect myself from the sun at all costs while I'm eating canola oil and highly processed foods that are laden with pesticides. Like, I just know better. So if you're wondering why my skin looks like, yes, I have had a laser treatment 2.5 years ago. I've done in the past, a long time ago, I did a TCA peel on 2 occasions. I did that at home. I did that myself for like less than $50. So that was an experience that gave me a lot of benefit, but it was a lot of downtime also, about 10 days to 2 weeks. I think if I'd done it now, it would have taken me 2 weeks. Just the older you are, the longer it takes to heal. And then you asked about something else. Did you ask about filler? I have had a little bit of filler. It's been a while. I've had some filler in my lips and some filler just in random places that honestly, I doubt anybody could tell. And I usually post about it, so you can go back in my feed and find the post where I'm like, okay, can you tell where I had filler today? This is me before the filler. This is me after the filler. Where'd the filler go? And I'm always curious to see if people can see where it actually went. So I would say most of the benefit to my skin looking the way that it does is because of our skincare. It is definitely enhanced by some Botox or Dysport and some filler here and there. But the quality of your skin, the way that your skin feels, is going to be mostly impacted by the daily skincare that you're using and the exfoliation of buildup on your skin, because skin cell turnover slows down. If you're using silicone makeup products, those silicone is bioaccumulative, so it builds up on your skin, meaning that you have now two things making a mask on your face. You have silicone buildup and dead skin cells that are built up on your face, making your wrinkles look like this. And when you get rid of all that buildup, they go back to your lines looking like this. So you can reduce the age look of your face pretty considerably when you just start to exfoliate really well. And then hydrate your skin so you're plumping up your skin cells. If you've never done that, this should be really exciting for you, because for $225, which is the flash sale price for the 8-step system, you're going to be able to make a lot of improvement. And then after you start to run out, it lasts about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how often you're using everything. But then we have our refill packs that you can use to refill your bottles. And that is something new that we added, and we're very proud of that. So you get a refill pack that has 2.5 times the amount that comes in the bottle, and you get a little discount when you buy the refill pack. And it's just much more sustainable and much easier to ship. So just a better footprint all around.
What does the TCA peel do?
A TCA peel resurfaces your skin. It's gonna burn off your top 3 or 4 layers of skin. It's terrible. It feels like you're setting your face on fire. And I wouldn't do it unless I had an air conditioner unit blowing right at my face, because in order for it to be really effective, you need to use at least 30%. And you can find people doing it at 15%, 20%. But in order to get the big wow results, you want 30% or higher, and you want to leave it on for as long as you possibly can, which is akin to putting your face into a fire. And then you put a solution on there that balances the pH and takes away the burn immediately. So you've got control over it immediately. And then it takes about 7 days for your skin to start peeling. So your skin's gonna be swollen and kind of red and look a little bit sunburned. And then day 8, 9, 10, and 11, you're gonna be peeling like a burn victim. Like really dark patches of skin will peel off, and your baby skin underneath will be absolutely beautiful. And you can go on TikTok and look at other people doing that on their TikToks and telling you what percentage they're using and what they're using it for and how it all works. I definitely recommend that you do some research if you're thinking about doing that. But it is a very inexpensive way to resurface your skin if you are crazy enough to do it at home. And you're not going to be worried about getting it in your eyes, making sure that the solution that takes away the acid is correct. Like, if none of that worries you, like it didn't worry me, I am nothing if not confident, then it's kind of only for those rebels out there who are what I would call a little bit of a renegade. But that is a way to do it. I would suggest that you do some really good skincare first, because this is going to take you a lot further, and you may never need to take the risk of doing a TCA peel at home. But if you make the progress that the skincare is going to give you, and then you do a TCA peel or a chemical peel, you're going to go even deeper. So you're going to get even better results, because you're not dealing with the easy stuff that is kind of the low-hanging fruit. So deal with the low-hanging fruit, and then go to do those more extreme things that are going to take longer to heal from, a little bit more money if you feel like you need to. But so many people are so satisfied with the results of our 8-step skincare that they're like, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to do anything else. And maybe that only lasts for 3 or 4 years before, they change their mind. But I think it's worth it to try it for $225 $239. Didn't I just say a different price a minute ago?
Oh yeah, the flash sale just
Oh,
ended.
the flash sale just ended. So
$225.
$225. Yes, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a better deal than that. But even at $239, it's still a heck of a deal. So, all right, there we go. We are moving to makeup. Are y'all ready to move on to makeup? Because I'm kind of excited. I'm going to do things a little differently than I normally do. I'm probably not going to pin my hair back, so let me know if that really bothers you, but I'm just probably not going to do it. I can't stand those little clips in my hair. It feels silly. And I feel like I use my hair to determine my face shape. So if my hair is weird, then I feel like I can't figure out how I need to shape my face. All right, I'm just making up excuses now. All right, so we're gonna start with, we're gonna do regular traditional makeup today for photo purposes. Okay, so this is if you're having your driver's license picture made, which you only have to do like once every 10 years, so you better make it count, right? If you are going to a wedding, if you are going to be photographed for a bio picture or a headshot or something like that, this is the way that I did makeup for photo purposes. Okay, so I did foundation first, and I did quite a bit of it. And most of you are just not quite applying enough. So we're gonna go right in on top of my skin with foundation in 4 stripes from under eye, cheek, aside from the lips, and jaw, okay? 4 with medium pressure. So I'm pushing pretty hard on this. Then I'm gonna do chin, upper lip, nose, and a couple of circles on my forehead. Now we're gonna blend that in, and then we're gonna do another layer right on top of this. All right, so we're gonna go in and see what kind of cleanup we get. And at this point, if you thought that this foundation was not the right color for you, because we only have one foundation color, then you would add a little bit of our lightener or our darkener to this to lighten it or darken it. Okay, it's a pretty good color for me. If you've been watching makeup videos on TikTok, you know that any makeup enthusiast who has her own content on this app and is applying makeup to herself or to other people is not putting on a foundation that is exactly the same color as her skin. I mean, you can see the difference here, right? Foundation, my skin. My skin looks a little bit pink compared to the foundation. But if I went and chose a pink-based foundation, I would be decapitating myself from the rest of my body and making my face all pink. So you don't want to choose a color that matches. You want to choose a better color that's going to go with the rest of your body and that's going to give you a healthy looking glow. So nobody ever came to me and said, I want to look cool and cold. Or I have cool undertones, so make sure that you give me cool colored makeup. Like, that never happened. I sent everybody to neutral, and it worked for everybody. It's just a little secret that makeup artists know, that we use a lot of the same products on everybody. We may have 300 in our kit, but we're probably only going to use the same 35 to 50 products on 6, 7, 8 people. That's just the way that it goes. So here we go. This is level 1. All right. So this is a pretty good layer of foundation, but I can still see through. I've still got a little bit of discoloration. And for photo purposes, you see that little pink poking through right here, a little bit of pink in my nose. For photo purposes, you can go a little heavier. You should go a little heavier because everything kind of disappears in photos, especially when you make a big smile, and we hardly ever look at ourselves in the mirror with a big smile. When's the last time we did this? You don't. We all look at ourselves like this. Angry and mad and staring at things on our face, never into our own eyes, never seeing what other people see, never seeing what a camera sees. We see our mirror face. The rest of the world sees something very, very different. So I'm going to teach you tonight how to see what the rest of the world sees when you put on makeup. And no better way to do that than to have photos taken. Like, that's the eye of the rest of the world. So that's what other people are seeing. So we're going to go over this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to do it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chin, upper lip, nose, and forehead. All right. Now that I have already put on a layer, I want to lighten up the touch with my Siren brush and make sure that I'm not displacing the makeup. So we don't want to go in and with too much pressure and just displace everything. Our products are cream and wax based, not silicone based. So there is no alcohol in these products. They're not drying down like your brain is telling you with your silicone products. Like your brain knows that you've only got a few seconds to smear that stuff around your face, because in a little bit it's going to stop spreading, and you're just going to have to put a whole nother dry layer on top of a dry layer. And there's something cringy about that. Like, you instinctively know that. This gives you the ability to manipulate the color and the level of coverage for quite some time, really until you set it with powder. It's completely able to be manipulated. I'm gonna just brush a little bit of whatever's left over
Lauren,
onto
yes,
my eyelids.
We'll do one more giveaway. We did one already, and we can actually set it if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. We're at 46.9 thousand, so let's get to 70,000 likes and we'll do another giveaway. Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair to me.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is 2 layers of foundation. I've got a beautiful sheen. I've got pretty much perfect coverage, but nobody should be satisfied with this look, okay? This is what we call moon face, when you just turn your whole face into one color, because your face has more than one color. It's got some ivory, it's got some dark beige, it's got some lighter beige, it's got some purple, it might have some pink in it. Even those of you with really even olive skin tone, you can still find a few other colors. So you want to bring in highlight and contour to make your face look more natural, because natural faces that appear feminine are considered more trustworthy. So if you look natural and feminine to somebody else, and that doesn't mean that you're not wearing any makeup. It just means that the makeup isn't screaming at them before your features are talking to them. Okay, so you appear in a natural state, like your eyes are apparent, your lips are apparent, your smile is doing more talking than your makeup. When that is the case, you are considered more trustworthy. So makeup can make you a better communicator if you allow it. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. I'm just learning about gifts because Caton's boyfriend does battles on TikTok. I didn't know that this was a thing, but don't you get sucked into these?
I see them, like
I've never seen a battle on TikTok.
I just past Jace's all the time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's been teaching me what those gifts mean and also where to find that money. So thank you. I'm still just learning. Okay, so makeup can make you a better communicator. I feel like anybody over 45 is much more concerned about people looking into their eyes, seeing into their soul, so that they're seen, known, heard, and understood, so that you can advocate for yourself, your family, your friends, and your clients better, whoever it is that you're advocating for. I know that that's a much bigger goal for me now than when I was 22. Okay, at 22, all I cared about was tell me I'm a pretty face. I didn't really care about anything else, and that's a shame. It just took me a while to mature into recognizing my value. So that is a reason to pursue makeup if you've always just kind of thought of it as fluff or as a mask or as something fake. There's a lot of research out there that shows that business women who do their makeup and they do it well earn more money than other women. It does make a difference in other people's minds. So we're just using the science that is telling us how other people see us to apply makeup in a way that makes us better communicators. So this is step 1, foundation. Okay, now we're going to go in with a contour color.
A couple of people said top of your head is off screen. Everything TikTok is covering your face across the top. Okay,
is that better? I don't know. you might have to touch your screen, and that sometimes takes away some of the borders that can be on the top and the bottom of the screen. Tabitha, you're not seeing that?
I don't. It looks normal to me.
Okay.
But someone said that's better.
Okay. Yeah, if you
Victoria
touch...
said that's better. Sarah said yes.
Okay, if you touch your screen, sometimes that changes things. But yeah, happy to make an adjustment there. All right, so this is our contour. You saw me wipe off the tip of this, all right? So we're using the Custom Complexion Bundle by Science of Pretty, which we are gonna flash sale, and which we have recently upgraded to include...
Oh, I forgot to update it. Sorry, you're doing the custom complexion?
Yes,
Okay.
Custom Complexion Bundle. So we're doing, we wipe off the tip all the way around, okay, because you want to control your product. And I did dots today.
Did you underpaint?
I did not underpaint. I went straight in with 2 layers of foundation. I'm kind of inspired by a makeup artist that I've been watching. She's young. Her name is McKenna Goddard. And I realized that we have a few things in common. She's using basically the same 3 or 4 looks on every single person that she does, and every single person loves it. And every single person has a different request. They're like, I like more pinky and I don't like a whole lot of eyeshadow. And she's like, okay. And then the next girl is like, I like a full glam beat and I love the pink. And so she's like, okay. And she's kind of doing the same thing, just leaning a little bit toward the browns or a little bit more toward the pink based on what they ask for. And backing off of a little bit of noticeable shimmer on the eyes, but basically giving everybody's eyes the same. Anyway, I've been paying attention, and she does a few things differently than I do. So I thought tonight we would do things a little bit differently and just see if I see the difference. So this is me practicing on you guys. And this is how she does. She does foundation first, and the foundation that she puts on their faces never looks like the right color. Never. It always looks like a completely tanned Malibu Barbie color put onto a very pink ivory little girl that just graduated college yesterday. And it works on every single one of them. So I'm going to be making some content tomorrow, and I'll show you some of these photos that I'm talking about. But this is the layer 1 of getting some contour onto the face. Now, I'm actually going to layer on top of this our new concealer. This is not part of the Custom Complexion Bundle, but part of our, we have 2 new concealers that are oh, you know what? I meant to not add that. I'm going to take that off. 2 new concealers that are part of our summer collection. And they are a little friendlier for those of you that are intimidated, but I'm going to add this cool toned contour right underneath where I added the bronzer.
Does this girl do older women or just like young?
Mostly 25-year-olds. Yeah. I mean, so yes, that, and this is why I haven't really, I don't adjust my style just because a makeup artist intrigues me. But I do feel like I should try and learn from the younger generations, and because some of these things I'll be like, that didn't really do it for me, or that isn't really appropriate for my face or the clientele that I have, or the viewers that I have. But usually I pick up something. And sometimes it's a huge surprise, and I'm like, well, I'll be darned. Like, who knew this was gonna happen? And then it's always a challenge for me to see if Science of Pretty, being a limited makeup line without a lot of color options, without a huge, we don't have 120 products. We're getting pretty darn close, but we don't have lots of shade range. Can we still pull off these looks? So that's kind of what I'm doing tonight, and giving you a little bit of a photo. So you can see there that contour added to the bottom of my cheekbones, just going to give me a little bit more structure to my face, making my face look a little bit more feminine, punching in that side of the face a little bit more. So what we have not done any highlight yet. So we have not highlighted the golden triangle, which this is going to come after blush, because this is the thing that I've been wanting to test out. But this bronzing situation is pretty good. So we're gonna hold off on setting it with powder, and we're gonna move on to blush next. And the blush that comes in our custom complexion bundle is our Ugly Duckling blush. This is the blush that I used on everybody unless they asked me for something different. I used a peachy, pinky, brown undertoned blush that looked super natural on everybody. And unless they had a request for something different, this is what I used. But tonight, I'm gonna try to get this very glowy pink cheek by using, this is gonna irritate some of y'all, but I'm gonna use our illuminating drops that are not in stock right now. Tabitha, don't kill me.
And I don't even have any backstock of it, so.
I know. So, but yeah, there are other products like this, and a lot of you have this. So this is another way to use it. So I'm gonna put this on my cheeks right here. And this is gonna give a little bit, well, we're gonna see how much glow this gives to our spring blush. So I'm gonna use the spring blush and see if I can mimic her really very pink shimmery cheeks. I feel like already we got a lot of shimmer and a lot of cheek power. I mean, by adding that cool contour underneath the bronzer, I already feel like my cheeks are starting to look a little chipmunky, which is how this girl naturally looks, a little chipmunky, in the cutest possible way. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry down a little bit. Then I'm gonna go in with our spring blush. Again, this is not exactly in the custom complexion bundle, but we're gonna go with it, okay? I'm gonna use my finger and go in. This is the pink, so it's not a very bright pink, but she goes really close to the eye, really close to the nose, and all around the entire cheek area. Okay, so it's a very heavy blush look that she does. And again, we're just getting feedback from you guys. I'm testing it out because we're gonna put the highlighting concealer and powder on later after we do this. And I've never done that before. I always did it in a different order, and I just felt like I should change up my order and see what I learn. So here we are, learning together. All right, I'm gonna go in with the, do we have any of this blush left before somebody?
Which one is it?
The spring blush?
No.
Okay.
But I do have some in our return bin, and I'm working on the Warehouse Sell VIP clearance page.
Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my nose, and I'm just gonna go back in and add a little bit more. She has a very heavy blush look, which I love a lot of blush, but this is a lot. And we haven't done any of the concealer or powder yet. So we're still just working with all the glow that we have. So I'm just gonna go in a little bit closer to my nose because I feel like this blush is creeping a little bit closer to my nose. I don't feel like this one is as close. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna go back on top of this with one dot of the illuminating drops. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna absorb some of that onto a naked finger. Do you see that glow? This is what all of her brides look like. And again, they're all 25. Some of them are moms and they pull it off well. But now I'm gonna just take and transfer that over to this side, which didn't have quite as much. So I'm adding that shimmer on top. And listen, this is just a smarter way to do makeup, okay? If you have the glow and you've got a basic pink, a basic neutral, a basic bright, a basic brown, you can add shimmer to them or you can keep them flat. Yep.
Is the spring blush the Tahitian?
No, the Tahitian is the summer blush that we are almost sold out of, aren't we?
Yeah, I think there's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's very few of these left. They'll be back next summer. The spring blush is what I'm using now. It's also not available, but you could do this with any of our blushes.
Are the illuminating drops in a bundle?
No, sorry. Yeah, y'all are gonna, maybe this was a bad idea. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm sure Tabitha's back there being like, the whole point of this is to sell makeup. And I'm like, but I just want to practice and see if I can do okay, you know what? You're going to get something out of it. Just, come back in the spring and buy the spring products, and come back in the fall or the summer, next summer, and buy the summer products.
I said, wait a minute, I missed the spring blush.
It's just a pinkier blush. It has a brown undertone to it, so it's not a cool pink. It's a little cooler than our Ugly Duckling, but the idea is that you can layer on illuminating products with your blush to make them super shiny. You don't just have to go buy a new blush color. You learn how to layer them.
And this is a good time to shout out that what we were talking about earlier, because I have 7 spring blushes that I'm going to post on our clearance page that are returned items, if you're okay with that, and look for our news blast for the information. That's all I can say here.
Before we do that, we should probably look at rules around returned items.
Right. I have them.
Okay, good. So as long as there is not an issue around that.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay, so this is the look that she is getting. Okay, so she's doing a little bit more contour, a little bit more bronzer. She's doing blush. This is McKenna Goddard. She's, probably 26 years old and doing makeup on mostly 25-year-old brides and their bridesmaids. But there's no reason why we can't take some inspiration from her. And she just does things in a little bit of a different order than I do. So she applies her concealer after she does her blush. So I'm going to take our new warm concealer, because this is what I watched her do. I watched her apply a normal colored concealer, and then she went in with a brightening concealer, and then she went in with the powder on top of the blush, and then she went in with powdered blush on top of the cream blush and powder. We're going to get there, okay? But let's do this. We're already here, so I'm sure I've annoyed some of you by using products that we don't have available, but there are several of you that do have these products. And I'm gonna I'll use the Siren brush, and I'm gonna blend this in and get it right into the corner of my eye, pull it down the side of my nose, and then blend it over and on top of the blush a little bit. Okay, that's a really nice transition. This might be an easier way for some of you that aren't good at blending to transition and just do your blush first, so that you get this easier transition. And you don't have to do that little thing where I'm always kind of walking the brush across my nose. I feel like this might be making the difference. All right, so there is the normal concealer. So we got a little bit of brightness under the eyes. Now we're gonna go in with the light concealer. This is part of our custom complexion bundle. I'm just gonna put a little bit there because we've already got, so if you got a lot of wrinkles under your eyes, you're probably cringing right now. Like, I cannot put this many creams underneath my eyes. We're gonna do it and just see what happens. And this should be fun for y'all. You should have these makeup play dates with yourself where you sit down with some music and a candle and a glass of your favorite beverage, and you just practice this. And at the end you go, you know what? That did not work for me. Now you know so much more than you did before. Like, you now have an educated decision instead of a fearful decision. And we make too many fearful decisions. We are terrified of making mistakes when we're about 5 minutes from walking out the door to go somewhere. So we just don't do things. And our brain knows that. Our brain does not want us to have success in that department. It wants us to stay status quo and continue doing the same things that we have always done. I'm gonna have to push my hair right back out because we're so not done yet. Okay, so there we go. We now need to set things with powder. So we've got some very glowy cheeks. And you could do this with any of our colors of blush. It does not have to be the spring blush. It could literally be any one of them. And if you don't have this, there are Lumi drops. There are plenty of other liquid highlighter type elements like this if you want to try one or borrow one from a friend for your makeup play date with yourself and just have some fun with it. Okay, so powders. Let's move on to powders. We're going to do our cool matte powder and set underneath the eyes. I'm going to dump a little bit of this into the lid. There's about that much. I think you can see that. And then I'm going to open up our...
Is the new blush that's coming out a cooler pink than the spring blush?
It's a little bit cooler, yes. It has more of a purple mauve undertone to it. So I would say it's a little bit cooler, but it's also a little bit darker. A tiny bit. Like, I can swatch it for you if you want. So you're asking about the new fall versus the spring. Is that right? The one that I have on right now?
New fall, yes.
Okay.
Smoked berry versus spring. There we go.
Yes, smoked berry versus spring. That is the difference. I think I described that very well, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's definitely a little bit more smoked. Has maybe a little bit more cool tones to it, but still pretty neutral. Like, we try to keep everything along the neutral line. So it might lean a little bit cool, a little bit warm. But we want everybody or most people to be able to wear it. And that's just what I discovered in my time as a pro makeup artist, is that just about every face that I did looked great in this range of colors that I had sort of landed on, and started realizing, like, this looks good on Indian faces, this looks good on Hispanic faces, this looks good on Caucasian faces, this looks good. Like, there is such a thing as colors that are way more universal than any makeup artist wants to tell you about, because they feel like it takes away from their credibility. I don't feel that way. Like, I've supported myself for 25 years as a professional makeup artist, and I'm not